Hello and greetings, fellow StarCrafters. PGL Milncraft here with game number 2 between the now yellow Terran LiquidTLO, or the little one, and ESCGoody. This map is, before we jump into it, this map is Crossfire. Crossfire, very long, as you can see on the mini-map, very long. Well, I guess not long, tall map, not very wide. And very thin, and then it's got like a bunch of different pathways, so you can kind of do counterattacks and stuff like that, but the primary thing in Terran versus Terran is it tends to revolve around kind of siege matches, especially around these Zelnega towers, and the most important piece of territory in this map that you can control as a Terran is this one, and this one, as it's very difficult to attack up ramp against a siege line. So these little hills right in front of the naturals are just incredibly important, and where a lot of the conflicts kind of tend to gravitate. Not saying we'll necessarily see that here, it just kind of happens, generally speaking, on this map. And should be a good one. I'm definitely excited for this. We can see that the little one, see that red was not working for him, has opted to change to yellow, the color of both the sun and the color of honeybees, and I don't know, other things I'm sure as well. Oh, and actually, purple and yellow, Vikings colors, so they're probably going to lose very quickly and rapidly, as I'm a Vikings fan actually, Minnesota all the way, but they lose a lot, unfortunately, games they shouldn't lose. But they did choose Vikings colors. It was probably not for Minnesota. It was probably because the little one decided that red wasn't a very good fit for him, didn't work out for him that game, so he wanted to kind of change it up, change his fortunes, that sort of thing. Alright, so it looks like we have a early refinery actually going down for Goody. That means most likely he's going to be doing some sort of Blue Flame Hellion drop. It also could mean that he's going for some sort of quick tank push, and also possibly it could go for a Banshee rush. I mean, there are a lot of different builds that require not require extra gas, but could use additional gas. But what it primarily means is that as soon as you're finished with this bunker, you are actually able to start your factory immediately. And you can see in the little corner actually that the little one has 72 gas right now, so his factory will not be going down for a little bit longer than Goody's. However, the little one's orbital command is just finishing now, whereas Goody's is just starting. So that's the kind of trade-off. It's less economical. We just have Goody building, or the little one building barracks in another strange location. He's actually building it to the side here. I think that's to scare his opponent into think that he's getting proxied, because as a in a Terran versus Terran, especially on this map, you can easily hide a proxy. Let's say like here and here, and you build two barracks. Or, there's kind of, or here and here even, or here and here, just some place where a normal scout would not be able to see them, and then you just rally Marines up, and if the other player's going like this sort of build where they only get one Marine, they can lose very rapidly to it. So if they think that a proxy is coming, they'll respond with a bunker, they'll respond with getting additional Marines, they'll mess up their build, and so it's very smart on the part of the little one to be able to do that. On the other hand, because he loves to scout with his barracks, it is also helpful for, oh wow, he's actually building a proxy starboard. That is not for scouting, that is going to be for building Banshees. But he also likes to scout with his barracks, so by building it here, he's actually able to then have it be closer for when he is actually scouting with it, because believe it or not, the giant barracks building actually is not that fast in the air. So it does take quite a while to get where it's going, which is why they either got shot down or did not get, or got almost shot down in the previous game. And we do see that Goody is in fact going for Blue Flame Hellion drops, by far the most likely outcome after going for a refinery first build. He is not getting the second gas, which means he's probably not going to be going for a Blue Flame Hellion drop. As his, well, he could be starting a starport actually when he gets to 100 gas. Very possible. I think that the little one was able to spot that Hellion, and he can see on the tech lab that something is researching. So the little one should definitely realize that he's going for Blue Flame Hellions. That does mean that he's going to be vulnerable to Banshees, which the little one is getting right now. He also saw that there wasn't a starport, or at least most likely was not a starport, and there was an expansion behind this. It looks like he was not going for a drop. So actually, I think Goody's going to be in a lot of trouble here. He only has 2 Marines. He is getting a reactor, so presumably he'll be able to build more Marines to be able to prepare for this attack, but he does not have a engineering bay just yet, even though he does have the resources to produce one, so we should be actually working on that fairly quickly. Looks like the blue flames are in fact engaging up at the wall. The little one is building a bunker right here, and very nice control. He's making sure each of his Hellions are only in one position. The most important thing is setting the tree, other than setting the tree on fire, is actually sniping the SCV right there, building the bunker. Unfortunately, the blue flames take forever to kill the bunkers. And, oh, nice control from Little One. Actually, I'm very impressed how little damage he took from that, considering he was essentially unprepared for this attack. And, it's very easy to snipe the building the building SCV in that situation, and actually the Marine right there. He doesn't have any Marines right now to put inside the force because he has a bunker but no Marines. That's hilarious because his barracks is actually over here. So he doesn't have a building back home to be able to build, wow, to be able to build any Marines to put in the bunker. That's hilarious. I've never seen that situation before. Well, unless you've lost all your Marines because it's like a rush or something, but that's an entirely different situation. And because he built this so close, he's actually going to have two Banshees go in at the same time. Still no engineering bay for Goody. Goody might be starting a Raven right now. He has the gas for it. But he's going to be in a lot of trouble. That is a lot of damage from Banshees going down right now. He's actually sending the Hellions back home. There is a siege tank that is produced, so the Hellions will not be able to get in anyway. I see 3 Marines. I think Goody's dead. I just think he's dead. He's getting a Viking right now. Oh, decloak. That was actually a fairly quick decloak. Actually, it probably will save energy. It does cost 25 energy to cloak the first time. But very good decloak. Artosis talks all the time about Korean players and how they don't decloak fast enough, basically. Looks like he did have to cloak again. I'm not quite sure. It's probably about even in terms of resources lost. But Goody's, all of Goody's SCVs are going up here. Why are they going so far away? I think he realized how much trouble he was in and how much damage was being dealt to him, and he wanted to make sure he didn't lose SCVs, so he put them as far away as possible, or he just clicked on the minimap and wasn't watching. Now that Banshee did in fact run out of energy, so it should be able to be taken out by that Viking. Meanwhile, he is going to scan and take out the rest of that Banshee, and this Banshee is also now going to be taken out. Also, a Raven is coming out as well. Looks like the SCVs are finally continuing their long trek home, and very intelligently, TLO is also repairing that Banshee. Very nice work. I'd love to see that. And that Banshee may or may not get away. Looks like it is going to get away. Goody wants to keep the Viking nearby to be able to protect any future Marines. And that Banshee push is going to stop, or at least be delayed by enough that the little one will be able to get out of Viking to accompany his Banshees. However, Goody should be ahead of any sort of fight like that. The little one is now transitioning into mech-style play, just like the previous game. We saw that Goody did come up in the upper hand on that. As he tends to mech a lot, it would make sense that he's more experienced in that sort of thing, but not meching in Terran versus Terran is very dangerous. We now have Banshees split. There is an auto turret going down for the Raven. Very nice work. Able to take out that last Banshee over there. Well, not the last Banshee. This is the last. These two are the last Banshees. And Goody actually was not targeting properly. He should have, in fact, been auto-targeting the other one. Actually, even the SCV was ordered to repair this Banshee and was following him all the way over here. But it looks like that Viking is going to be able to take out. This is actually not very good control on the part of the little one, as that Banshee is soon to run out of energy as well. So as long as Goody follows it for a long enough time, he's not going to be able to take it out. And actually, the little one is still producing Banshees here. They're not actually making up their money, and another Viking is coming out. So definitely this is the wrong decision on the part of the little one. I don't think it's really going to do much for him as a result of the fact that there's so much defense now in position. And Goody is also now taking his expansion. The little one is also taking his expansion and starting his third expansion as well. I think part of the reason is that expansions actually pay them for themselves with their mules. And the little one is actually harvesting resources right there. Wow, that was really good timing. Just as I criticized it, it was actually able to snipe 2 mules right there, as the Viking and Banshee, or Viking and Raven rather, were not in position to be able to take it out. The Viking up there is going to be able to take it out though, so even though it did take out the 2 mules, it was destroyed, I think. My guess is good. He did in fact, yes, spot the starport right there, and he's going to be able to take out that barracks as well. Looks like the little one has a nice little force outlaid right here. Meanwhile, Goody has the watchtowers, which can give him vision over this entire area, and that barracks is going to explode. Go here just in time to be able to see the little pieces tumbling through. That's one thing definitely improved over StarCraft 1 is all of the debris that explodes, especially when like a Nexus explodes and it looks like the Death Star remastered, where it like goes into tons of pieces. There's no like circle of power that makes it more exciting or anything, but nice spot from Goody, able to take out the scout. That's part of the advantage of having the watchtowers and having Blue Flame Hellions over here, which are able to spot such shenanigans. Looks like another Banshee is going to circle around, however, and probably go into the side of Goody's base and try to deal some more damage. There is a missile turret, but the missile turret is facing the wrong direction. Not that they can't turn, but they are stuck in place. Looks like a Viking is actually just going to land right here. It'll be humorous to see if the Banshee is able to take out the Viking before Goody realizes that it's being taken out. And actually, the little one has this on a bad rally point right now, as it's rallied directly into the missile turret, so most likely this Banshee is... Oh, he was selecting it. Is not going to die. Looks like another Banshee down here, able to snipe all of the builders of these factories. Very nice work. And hopefully can get the siege tank as well. Able to take out that builder. Nice control. And that siege tank, he's going to go for a second, but there's a lot of Vikings right there. I don't think he's going to be able to take it out. In fact, he is not going to be able to take it out. Goody now has a 4-0 Viking lead. Is that correct? 5-0 Viking lead. So there is no way the little one's ever going to be able to produce any more Banshees. Why is he still building Banshees? These Banshees are not making up their money. They just aren't. I guess they're distracting Goody and making him build more Vikings, perhaps. And those Hellions did not take the proper route. Those Hellions went the wrong way, and thus they died. And actually, I think the little one's going to get very good positioning right here. Now, it's... Oh, wow, does he only have one siege tank? I think he actually only has one siege tank. That's going to be a huge problem. He is dropping missile turrets to be able to absorb some of the damage, and it looks like the siege tank was able to take out a lot of the forces. But Goody, part of the reason that these factories were so delayed. But it looks like actually, wow, is he actually just going to be taken out by this little attack from the little one? Wow. And Goody's just going to have to GG out of the game. So, I mean, the little one kept building. So I did fault him for building the Banshees, and I don't think they were worthwhile. I mean, but it seems that Goody just had a little bit of problem micromanaging, which, I mean, if we go to his average APM, it's only 96, which, you know, the little one's is 165. That's almost twice as many. But, you know, this wasn't that big of a siege tank push, right? But Goody only had 2 siege tanks and like 3 Hellions, and 3 of the Hellions were taken out right here. So like his force was just teeny, and if he had any reasonable sized force, if he had a Banshee, if Goody had gotten a Banshee of his own to supplement the Raven, he probably wouldn't have been able to hold off his pushes. I don't think there were any, yeah, there were no Thors, right? But because he opted against that and didn't get enough siege tanks, he just got destroyed on the ground. Which shows you one of the dangers of Terran versus Terran, actually, is you do not want to overproduce Vikings, as Goody did. He got like 5 Vikings when he didn't see any from the little one. You know, and he got him to deal with the Banshees, right, a real threat, but he didn't want to overproduce, to the fact that he couldn't get enough factories. And actually, if you look at his factories, I mean, he only had 1 factory available, which is why his siege tank count was so low. And part of it was the workers were sniped, but they also really wouldn't have produced that many, even if the workers weren't sniped, he really wouldn't have produced that many siege tanks by the time that TLO's, the little one's attack would have gotten in. And I think the little one actually still would have came ahead in this match. So very nice timing of push, but I mean, Goody, that was really Goody's mistake there. Like, that was his game to lose, I think, after all of the harassment. Although he did lose a lot of mining time. After the little one built like 6 Banshees. It must have been like 6 Banshees, I think, that he was behind. Well, hope you enjoyed it. This is PGL Minecraft signing off. Moving on to game number 3, by the way.